Eric, if you maybe like to give us some early thoughts on the fight and on your time in the bubble, and then we'll open up to questions.
Well, I think this is a great fight, for me and also him because, I have a good record, something he can build off of. But also it's a great fight for me because he's like one of the biggest prospects. He have a great career, a great background, amateur career. He have a good following, and he have also 5 knockouts with some veteran guys, so adding that to my record, that'll be great. Also, having a title and a chance to fight for a world title, that'll be great for me.
Great stuff, Eric. Guys, questions for Eric, please fire away.
Hi, Eric. My name is Ivy. So I know that you mentioned before that Israel has had a great amateur career, but as a pro, he's made mistakes. May you please elaborate on that?
Yes, he makes a lot of mistakes in the ring. He just come forward, and a lot of those guys that he fought, like I say, they was older and, they fought a lot of hard fights and, it was almost, time for them to get out the game. Their timing wasn't there, their feet work wasn't there, their head moving wasn't there, so, going up against me, I have all those tools. I have the same tools that he got. Only thing the difference between us is the age, but I don't have I'm 37 years old, but I don't feel like I have a 37-year-old body. I always keep myself up. I haven't been through no wars or anything like that. I don't have over 100 fights, in my whole career, so, he's going to get tested, with this fight, he's going to get tested. And, the fights that he have, all of them haven't been over 6 rounds. So, like, my thing is to bring him in them deep waters and see if he can handle that. We all know that he's knocking out everyone, within 1 to 5 rounds. We all know that he can do that, but we don't know if he can go 12 rounds, of hard work, moving and getting punched on and missing and stuff like that. That's where he got to be tested. And, I think, I don't think I know I'm the guy, for this test, and I'm going to prove him wrong.
What are you looking most forward to for the fight?
I'm just looking in to get in and work, and come out with the W. That's what I'm looking for. This is a big opportunity for me. I haven't fought on TV in a long time. So, a lot of my fans and my family and friends get a chance to watch me, and I'm just going in to put in work, and show my skills.
Do you feel any pressure about that?
No, I don't. I take every fight as the same. I don't underestimate nobody, anything like that. And, I just get in and work and, try to adjust and just, protect myself the best way I can. Because in boxing, anything can happen. But, this is what I signed up for a long time ago when I was in prison. I always took penitentiary chances, growing up. So, this is another chance I'm taking in life, and I just handle it the safest way that I can. I'm in shape. I'm ready for a 12-round fight. And there it is. I'm going to just put all my work on the line.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Ivy. And next question from Gail, please.
Morning, Eric. You got a big, big smile on your face. I'm loving that. Do you see a way that you can put an underdog status to work for you? And also, a lot of people, we all know your background and being toughened up by all those difficult experiences. Do you think that that also can be a tool for you going into a tough fight like this one?
Yeah. Everything that I've been through.
I mean, there's nothing for you to be afraid of in the ring after life, right?
Yes, everything that I've been through in life, have prepared me for this moment, you know. So it's like, you know, I don't go in feeling sorry for myself or anything like that. You know, I just take what I've been through and I just go for what I know, you know.
And
So
come as an underdog.
it's like me not being scared. You know, I went to jail when I was 15 years old. I started boxing when I was 18. You know, and I was fighting against guys who had life sentence, 2 life sentence. You know, hundreds of years. You know, so I know what it's like getting in with somebody who actually trying to knock you out or trying to hurt you. You know, or just being around in prison, just walking around. You know, they got guys that don't like you or just try to hurt you for no reason. So, you know, going into this is just another step in my life. You know, that's how I look at it.
Eric, can I ask you about when you started boxing in prison? Was there actually a lot of quite good boxing knowledge in there when you look back on it as well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, they had guys in there that was on the streets boxing and that was training on the streets, and they also had guys that actually learned how to train up in there, but they took it serious like me. You know, like it was some guys, it was our job. You know, I always went to school and I always boxed. You know, the whole time I got trades and, you know, I just educated myself the whole time, you know, but it was time where I was able to, you know, train every day and, you know, and be around guys who, you know, put that time into me. So, you know, like the knowledge came with us watching boxing tapes, you know, we getting copies of fights and stuff like Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins, Mike Tyson, you know, all the fights that used to come on HBO, we had the opportunity. Sometimes we would order the fights through ring size or, you know, title or something like that. But, you know, we had like the warden who was over the boxing team. He used to copy the fights and bring it to us on DVD or bring it to us on tape. So we had the opportunity to study these fights, watch these guys' footwork, watch how they set up punches, you know, watch how they move around, watch how they feint and do all type of stuff. So that's why I was able to come home and I was able to adapt to boxing like, you know, like it wasn't nothing because, you know, I sit back and I watch and I analyze those guys, you know, just like coming into this fight, you know, I watched this guy, you know, I had 27 days, you know, leading up to this fight. So my job is to get in and watch him. I watched him, but I also know that the guys that he fought, they don't fight like me, you know, and they didn't put the work in like me. So, you know, everything about me right now is just adjusting, you know.
Did you feel, I haven't had a chance to talk to you about these things before, so it's fascinating, really fascinating for me. Just 2 tiny other little ones for me. Did you feel safer in prison because you were part of the boxing crew?
No, because it wasn't a thing that I feel safe. You know, I was in the prison. I was incarcerated maybe like 2 years or 2 years and a half before I started boxing. So my reason for starting boxing because I used to fight a lot. I had anger problem, you know, and you know, so I had a lot of respect before I actually started boxing. And when I did started boxing, you know, it just taught me how to be disciplined, you know, how to follow the rules and stuff like that. It actually showed me how to be a man. So everything after that, it was just me being a leader, you know, and you know, it wasn't nothing that, you know, I was afraid of and stuff like that. I feel like, you know, if I wouldn't have started boxing, I probably would have ended up, you know, back in jail, you know, probably hurting someone, fighting or anything like that. But it wasn't nothing that I felt like just because I was boxing, I didn't have no fear or I felt safe. You know, you got to protect yourself all times up in there. I didn't see guys sleeping in the bed and guys that attacked them. I know one guy, he was before he went to bed, a guy asked him for some coffee and he told the guy he didn't have much left. And when he went to sleep, the guys tried to pull his eyes out with his fingernails, you know, so is not that I can say that I would, you know, I felt safe just because I was boxing. No.
And final one. Thank you for that. Thank you. And final one. When we see, a lot of us have covered the career of Bernard Hopkins. When you see Bernard and how long he went on, you mentioned tapes of him there. Do you deeply understand how penitentiary life and being the penitentiary's middleweight champion really did prepare him for 30 years afterwards in boxing? And he obviously carried on for nearly 30 years as a professional and is genuinely one of the all-time greats now. And that maybe he wouldn't have got there had it not been for prison, you know?
Yes. Yeah, that's how I look at myself. You know, when I look at Bernard, I think about, you know, I know prison prepared him mentally, you know, for everything that he went through in life, because he actually had his chance at a title, you know, and he got recognized at a late age, you know. So, you know, me looking at that and knowing where I came from when I came home, I turned pro at 30 years old. But I never let the age 30 years old dictate, you know, how fast I want to move or where I want to go. And like taking the Chris Pearson fight, I had a lot of families, a lot of friends, you know, and everybody, you know, telling me not to take that fight. But I didn't listen to what they said, because I knew what I had, and I knew what my work was going into that fight. So, you know, and Bernard was one of the guys going into that fight. I watched him and Daniel, I forgot his name, but the guy was a southpaw. I watched that fight going into the Chris Pearson fight, and I defeated him. So, you know, that just like me, you know, prison prepared me mentally for a lot of stuff, you know. And I look at like Bernard Hopkins, you know, Manny Pacquiao, you know, Floyd Mayweather, all those guys, they've been through stuff. You know, I had the opportunity to, you know, to talk to Freddie Roach and actually train with him. And I know a lot of stuff Manny Pacquiao went through before he got to, you know, his stage in life, being a Hall of Famer. You know, he came to America and just asked to be trained by Freddie Roach. And, you know, he's one of the all-time greats now.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Gareth. And Mark Lellenwaller, please.
Hey, Eric. Right now in Louisiana, there's currently a fight to reduce the number of prisoners due to COVID. What are your thoughts about that?
Wait, I didn't hear that.
Yes, currently in Louisiana right now, there's this push to reduce the number of prisoners due to the COVID pandemic. What are your thoughts about that?
Yes, I think, you know, I think that'll be great. You know, the guys that's actually up in there making a change for themselves, taking self-help programs, and actually, you know, up in there, you know, being a good inmate, they showing that they ready for society. You know, and I think that is really bad in there, because I still have families and friends up in there that I talk to, that can call my phone and they tell me how bad it is up in there. So, you know, I think that'll be great, because Louisiana is overcrowded, you know, with inmates in prison and stuff like that, that I think deserve a second chance, you know. And I feel like I was gave a second chance. And I feel like if a lot of guys that be given that second chance, they will come out and actually be great, not only just boxing, because they also have, you know, different trades and, you know, guys that have different skills up in there. You know, when I think about, you know, inmates being up in prison, I think about like a lot of guys that I left behind, and I know if they had that opportunity to get out, that they'll make a change and they'll help out in society. You know, with everything going on, like we have a lot of killing going on. We don't have no leaders, you know, in Baton Rouge like we supposed to. You know, we have a lot of people who famous and stuff like that, but they not leaders. But, you know, when you think about, you know, inmates in jail, everyone have a family member in jail when you think about Louisiana, you know. So if you allow them to get out and, you know, put them in a great position where they can be leaders, I think, you know, a big change would be made in my city.
Then Eric, my one other thing is, do you feel like they got this sort of wrong. He has 5 pro fights, Madrimov, and he's slugged in as the favorite. Do you feel slighted by that? Do you feel like disrespected by that?
No, I don't. I don't, because, you know, like what boxing is, you know, boxing is like anything else. It's how politics. It's all about who you know, and so he's in a great position, you know, and he's hooked up with the right people, you know, and my job is to come in and demolish that, you know, so I don't feel no type of way about that. You know, he's a young guy. He made a showing for himself through the amateurs, you know, and like turning pro, you know, I know a lot of his fights was, you know, picked, and they picked it right, because would no promoter want that guy going up against a hard fighter, you know, but now they want him fighting for a world title, so it's time for him to be tested, and they choosing me, you know, for him to be tested. He was tested through 5 guys. He knocked all 5 of them out. So they need someone that's very active, that's, you know, gonna punch with him, have, you know, experience, and that's how I look at that. But I can't let them bill off of me. You know, that's the only thing that I look at. I can't let them bill off of me.
Thanks a lot, Eric. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Mark. And we'll have what we could, Eric. We could listen to you talk all day, buddy. But we got to let you one last question, please, from Terrell, and then we're going to bring in Mark Castro. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. What's going on, Eric? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. As I said to Israel, good luck on Saturday to both of you. So the question I have is this: what's your plans? Because this is a WBA title eliminator, correct?
Yes, it is.
So, well, if you were to win, which, no disrespect, would be considered an upset, but what's your plans on if you were to win on Saturday night?
Well, my plans is, you know, like I say, I'm always trying to give hope, and I'm always, you know, trying to give back. So, you know, my plan with this, I'm just hope I be in a, you know, I know I'm going to be in a better position, but I want to be in a position to also be able to, you know, move up and fight the top guys, you know, the champions, and also have a, you know, make more money to take care of my family, and also help people along the way, you know, because I have a lot of fans and, you know, people that reach out to me and they be wanting advice and stuff like that, you know, so I want to be able to have me an organization and have some, you know, maybe have some great people step in and help me along the way, you know, tell my story, you know, just stuff like that.
All right. Good luck on Saturday.
Yes.
Great, Eric. Thank you so much for joining us and getting those. We had a few technical issues at the start, but that was really great of you to join us, and a fascinating story, and really looking forward to the fight on Saturday night. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.